Hello again. Okay, this is your bench press video. Let's have a quick look-see. Okay, I really hate these benches, the way they have these hooks. But anyway, I think you're lucky in that it's probably just the right height for you. Setup is actually pretty good. Fantastic global extension with what we call it here. There's a few rules that we like to basically have to tick a few boxes here. So, obviously bum and shoulders have to be on the bench. Knee should be below the hip, which it is, and foot should be behind the knee. So, and what that does is it gives you this this excellent global extension position. Scapula fully retracted and downwardly rotated. High on your shoulder, which is awesome, and you maintain this really nice chest height. So let's just start this video off. Now, can you just do me a favor and check one thing? See these lines in the bar? Can you measure the distance between that line and that line? Okay. In power bars, that line should be 81 centimeters or 810 millimeters. It looks like these are a bit narrower than that, quite a bit narrower than that. The problem with this is if you're using those lines to center your hands equidistant from the center of the bar, when you go into a meet that has 81 centimeter lines, you're going to be off. So what you need to do is somehow mark on this bar the 81 centimeter lines. Some of my clients use tape. Some of them, if for example, this is not your bar, so putting tape on it probably isn't a great idea unless you want to apply it and take it off every time. But sometimes people just put like a line of chalk, or even like with a texter, like use a thick black marker on the bar and put your 81 centimeter lines in and use those lines to center your hands equidistant from the center. Okay, that's really important. Let's play. Let's have a look at your setup here. So your setup still maintaining those rules: knee below hip, feet behind your knee. Now I'm assuming in the federation you lift in that your feet don't have to be flat. Okay, so they aren't exactly flat here. You're sort of leaning on the your medial sole, which is fine. When you apply pressure with your feet, you may refer to it as leg drive. What I want you to do is I don't want you to press down. I sort of want you to press forward and through the surface of the ground. That way your bum won't lift when you press. Okay, so taking it out at arm's length was excellent. Okay, fingers around the bar, which I like to see. Nice chest height, and I can see here that your scapula or your shoulder blades are downwardly rotated, and you've sunk your humerus deep into your glenohumeral joint, which is excellent. Okay, the biggest thing with your bench press right now, first, I think we can definitely make some improvements with your grip width. But first, what I want to see is you mark the 81 centimeter rings out. But what we have here, you're really restricting your movement. You look a little bit thin with your grip width, and you can see the position of your elbow in relation to your wrist, in relation to the bar, is a little bit out. So what I'm expecting to see is your elbow in line or just in front of your wrist and the bar on top of your wrist. So you have a nice perpendicular line. But unfortunately, what we have at the moment is your elbow, and even from this front right hand position, you can see quite clearly your elbow is quite a bit in front and tucked just in front of the bar. Okay, this is not a very efficient position to be in. This happens a lot. I see it often with this elbow tucking, because what happens is people watch YouTube videos and they see multiply benches tucking their elbows. And the reason they're tucking their elbows is because as they lower the bar to their chest, the chest plate on the bench shirt tightens up to the point where they can't drop the bar or lower the bar any further. So what they do is, to reduce the tension, they bring their elbows in. You're raw benching, so you don't need to do that. So what I want to see is a more efficient bench. Your elbow should be about where my mouse pointer is now, about there. Okay, so what we want is the bar to start over your shoulder, and I want you to lower it just in front of your shoulder, enough to basically avoid any acetabulum, subacromial impingement rather. So reduce risk of injury, tearing of long head of bicep, you know, disrupting the bursa and so on in your shoulder. So the bar should drop just in front of your shoulder, and the elbow should be positioned underneath your wrist, in line or just in front of the bar, so you have a nice efficient press position. Okay, let's have a look. Pressing out, good, maintaining chest height. Okay, so what I want you to do as well is I need you to stop the bar on your chest a bit longer. This is touch and go benching right here. So let's just bring it back a little bit. So I want you to give yourself a nice pause. You can see you tucking in. Let's have a look. Tuck the elbow. You can see the tucking of the elbow even worse. Tucking of the elbow. Tucking of the elbow. Okay. So what I want is a more perpendicular forearm position with the bar on the ground. So all this is good. What I want you to do is, this week I want you to measure the rings, mark your 81s, center your hands with the 81s, and attempt to bring your elbow, let your elbow drop naturally underneath your wrist. Okay? That's all I want you to do this week.